What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video, I'm going to be taking a look ahead at my most anticipated movies of 2016. It's hard to believe we're in the new year. I mean, 2015 went by so quickly, and there were a lot of great movies in 2015. A lot of movies that I still want to see, for sure. And a lot of great movies that I've seen this year so far that have been really good. 2016 definitely is proving to be a year. It could prove to be a big year for comic book movies, especially comic book movies. There's 7 comic book movies coming out in 2016. 7. That's unbelievable. I don't think we've ever had that many comic book movies in one year. That's phenomenal right there. But comic book movies are the big popularity right now. I mean, they are big. They are very big. Not very many have failed, Not very many have failed. There's bound to be some good action movies for sure that I'll talk about. Comedies, definitely. There looks to be some very good comedies. One especially I'm going to definitely talk about. So without further ado, I'm going to dig right in. I'm going to go from January to December and just highlight a lot of the movies coming in each month that I'm looking forward to the most as a movie fan. So let's start with January. And the first movie in January is 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, coming out January 15th, next weekend. There actually was one movie that came out, one wide-release movie that came out because I'm doing this video so late, there's one movie that came out called The Forest. A horror movie. I'll talk more about that after, when I talk about January movie releases. I'll still be doing the January. I'll kind of highlight what happened in January, movies that made box office totals, critical reviews, stuff like that. I will go over that stuff. So first off, anyway, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. It is very significant because of a couple things. One, it's directed by Michael Bay. Now, Michael Bay's been a guy who's had a lot of... He's a controversial director in some ways. I mean, I shouldn't say there's a lot of people that don't like Michael Bay. A lot of critics don't like Michael Bay as a director, that's for sure. But his movies make money. His last movie was Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, came out a couple years ago. Horrible critical reviews, but made over $1 billion. So the guy knows how to make money. He should be able to do it again with 13 Hours. It should make some change, definitely. This movie is about the events that happened at Benghazi. Remember Benghazi, the political scandal there that was in the news a lot anyway. But 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, is one I'm looking forward to because it looks like a good action movie. There's a few people in there that are recognizable in terms of names. John Krasinski, who is best known for his role on The Office. James Badge Dale, I've heard the name. And there's a few others too. But 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Looking forward to. And a lot of these movies of 2016, I'll either be looking forward to seeing them in theaters or outside of theaters. I'll definitely be doing that. So that's the first movie, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, that in January I'm looking forward to. The next movie I'm looking forward to is a sequel. I have to see the original still, but it looks interesting. Ride Along 2. I have not seen the first Ride Along. I would like to see it. It's on my list. I definitely want to see it. But Ride Along 2, because of the success of the first movie, now you have a second movie coming out, and it's also coming out January 15th. And it's got Ice Cube and Kevin Hart returning in their roles, returning from the first movie, and then some new people. Olivia Munn is coming into the movie, Benjamin Bratt, and a few other people. Ken Jeong, who is best known as that Chinese guy in the Hangover movies. You know. But yeah, Ride Along 2 is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Good little comedy, definitely. But like I said, I'll have to watch the first one. And the first one will actually hinge if I want to see the second one or not. You know? I'll see the second one because I'm curious. But I definitely want to see the first one and, you know, check that out. So, Ride Along 2. Another one I'm looking forward to is a movie called The Fifth Wave. The trailers have looked good for this movie. It's a science fiction movie. I've gotten more interested in science fiction movies over the years, definitely. I didn't think I was really into it, but I've seen some good sci-fi movies for sure. The Fifth Wave has Chloe Grace Moretz, who is definitely up-and-coming young actress for sure. She's in her teens, and she's been in a lot of movies. But The Fifth Wave, it looks like a very interesting movie to watch for sure. So yeah, The Fifth Wave. It's a Chloe Grace Moretz starring movie. So and it's coming out January 22nd. Another comedy I'm looking forward to, also coming out January 22nd, Dirty Grandpa. This movie looks pretty funny. I mean, the trailers, they've been okay. The two main guys in this movie are Zac Efron and Robert De Niro. This is about this movie's about a grandson and a grandfather. The grandson gets tricked into driving his grandfather to Florida, and hijinks ensue. And you know, this movie looks good. It really does. I am definitely looking forward to seeing Dirty Grandpa. I love comedies. I love to laugh. I hope this movie's good, and I definitely want to see it. Another movie I'm looking forward to, coming out January 29th, is a movie that has definitely had a lot of issues with it. A lot of switching of directors, a lot of switching of actors. A lot of directors and actors were on the project, but got out of the project. You know, this movie has had a lot of drama around it, but it is coming out January 29th, and that is the movie Jane Got a Gun. It's a Western action drama movie. It stars Natalie Portman and Joel Edgerton, Ewan McGregor, and a few other actors as well. Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor, they reunite from their Star Wars days. They were both in the Star Wars prequels. Definitely, Jane Got a Gun is about Natalie Portman is this woman who is actually, let me read the plot for you. Okay, Jane Hammond, who's played by Natalie Portman, has built a new life with her husband, Bill Hammond, Noah Emmerich, after being tormented by the Bishop Boys gang. She finds herself in the gang's crosshairs once again when Ham stumbles home riddled with bullets after dueling with the boys and their relentless leader, Colin, who's played by Ewan McGregor. With the vengeful crew hot on Ham's trail, Jane has nowhere to turn to but to her former fiancé Dan Frost, who's played by Joel Edgerton, for help in defending her family against certain death. Haunted by old memories, Jane's past meets the present in a heart-stopping battle for survival. So, it definitely looks like an intriguing plot for sure, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's see how it does. Next movie I'm looking forward to is a parody of 50 Shades of Grey, a movie that I will never watch. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of movies from 2015. Still, 50 Shades of Grey is not one of those movies for me. But 50 Shades of Black definitely looks... I'll definitely get into it. I'll definitely... I'll watch it. I mean, I love comedies, like I said. I love to laugh. 50 Shades of Black. I am gonna definitely... Man, I like Marlon Wayans anyway. Marlon Wayans is the star of the movie. And I love Marlon Wayans. I love A Haunted House. He was in A Haunted House. He was funny in that. I love him in the Scary Movies 1 and 2. He's funny. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. So 50 Shades of Black. And then the final movie in January, actually, the final movie in January, which looks very good, is The Finest Hours, which is an action drama. And the trailer looked very interesting for it. It has Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, and a few others as well. It's a disaster drama film. It is based on the true story of the Pendleton rescue mission attempt in 1952 by Coast Guard ships wherein 2 oil tankers were split asunder by a nor'easter. So, I've never heard of that rescue mission attempt, but from the trailers, it looks intense. I am definitely gonna... I'd like to check it out for sure. You know, I like Chris Pine as an actor. Casey Affleck's been in a few movies. He's the brother of Ben Affleck. And so I'm definitely going to be looking into it for sure. And then the final movie of 2016 that I'm looking forward to, but I have to see it's a sequel, but I got to see the first 2 movies, is Kung Fu Panda 3. I'll definitely check into that at some point. I want to check out Kung Fu Panda and Kung Fu Panda 2. I've never seen those before. But yeah, I'd like to check out Kung Fu Panda 3 at some point. They get really into the story and all that. Apparently, Jack Black, as the main panda, has to train a whole bunch of other pandas in his hometown or something like that. So, yeah, that's a movie on my radar. I'm gonna definitely, I'll definitely check out the first 2, for sure. Now we get into the month of February, and a couple here that don't really, that I haven't really heard of, per se, but coming out February 5th is the new Coen Brothers movie. The Coen Brothers are a very popular group of directors. I think they're both brothers, I think. And they've directed a lot of big movies. And I've never seen any of them before. But The Big Lebowski is one movie they directed. I want to see that. I definitely do. And there's others as well. But the movie looks... Hail Caesar. Hail Caesar looks interesting. And it's got an all-star cast. George Clooney, Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson, Jonah Hill, and more. This movie looks good. It's about the movie industry back in the day. Let's see. So, the premise of the movie. Eddie Mannix, played by Josh Brolin, is a Hollywood fixer helping the production of the upcoming film entitled Hail Caesar, starring famous actor Baird Whitlock, who's played by George Clooney. When a hungover Whitlock is kidnapped by a group named the Future, Mannix is the one in charge of collecting $100,000 and rescuing him. It sounds very interesting. The premise sounds very intriguing. So I'll definitely check it out. Next movie I'm gonna check out is actually a horror comedy, and it looks pretty interesting. And that is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It looks Pride and Prejudice, I believe, is a book. Was a movie, or it's based on an 1813 book, Pride and Prejudice. And now they combine it with zombies. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the movie. It stars Lily James, who last year starred in the live-action adaptation of Cinderella, which turned out to be a big success. That's a movie on my 2015 list that I want to see. But yeah, you combine Pride and Prejudice and zombies together, and I'm definitely gonna look forward to it for sure. I'm gonna check it out. So the next film on my list is going to be Regression. It's a thriller, and I've heard of this film a bit before. It kind of looks intriguing. It actually has come out in 2015, but it's going into wide release in the year of in this year, and it stars Ethan Hawke and Emma Watson. Emma Watson, you may very well know as Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter films. So there you go. Emma Watson's turned into a big star now, and she's going to co-star in this movie with Ethan Hawke. So this Regression film's a thriller, and I mean, it looks very interesting to me. The plot itself sounds very intriguing to me, because I'm interested in psychology and all that sort of thing. Psychology, human services type thing, in psychology and things like that. That stuff interests me a lot. The film takes place in Minnesota in the year of 1990. Detective Bruce Kenner, played by Ethan Hawke, investigates the case of John Gray, played by David Dentzik, who admits to sexually abusing his 17-year-old daughter, Angela, played by Emma Watson, but has no recollection of it. Sounds very intriguing. Awful plot, definitely, but I mean, awful situation, but just intriguing. Kind of get into the movie a little bit and all that. I'm fascinated by this movie. I definitely want to see it. So the next movie I'm going to look at is let me see here. The next movie I'm going to look for that's anticipated is Deadpool. The first comic book movie that's coming out. Deadpool has wowed me so far. I mean, the marketing for this movie alone has been unbelievable. And the latest trailer was laugh out loud funny. I mean, Deadpool is very anticipated for me. I want to see this movie. I had never heard of Deadpool before the movie was announced and all that sort of thing. But this is a superhero character I want to take a look at in this movie. And the guy who plays him is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is hilarious anyway. I really like Ryan Reynolds a lot. If you haven't watched it, watch National Lampoon's Van Wilder. That movie is hilarious. One of his earlier films. But a hilarious movie. You really see the comedic chops of Ryan Reynolds in that movie. Yeah, Deadpool looks very interesting. The next movie, and that's coming out February 12th, by the way. Regression and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and Hail Caesar are all coming out February 5th. But the weekend of February 12th looks interesting. And Deadpool's one of those reasons. Another movie that's coming out in that February is How to Be Single. It's a romantic comedy. I'm a fan of romantic comedies. I'll definitely admit that. I am a big fan. But this movie looks interesting. You have Dakota Johnson coming off the financial success of 50 Shades of Grey. You have Alison Brie, who's an up-and-coming young star. You have Leslie Mann, who's a great comedian actress. And you have Rebel Wilson, who's also a great comedic actress. Those four leads, those four are going to be headlining this movie. So I'm definitely going to look forward to it. But the movie that is my most anticipated of 2016, the first of this, it's a sequel. The first movie, I love the movie. I reviewed it recently, and I love this movie. And the movie that's coming out February 12th is Zoolander number 2. I mean, I love Zoolander. That movie is so stupid, but it is so funny. I cannot wait for Zoolander number 2. Finally, I mean, it's like Zoolander came out in 2001. This movie's coming out in 2016. Of course, you definitely have to be wary of comedy sequels, because there have been many instances where sequels aren't as good as the original, or in many cases they do not exceed. They are even worse than the original. But I have very high hopes for Zoolander number 2. I cannot wait. However, I mean, Ben Stiller's coming back, Owen Wilson, Christine Taylor, Will Ferrell, but some new people coming in as well. Penelope Cruz, a great international actress, Kristen Wiig, SNL alum, Jonah Hill's in the movie. So, I'm absolutely looking forward to Zoolander number 2. Another movie I'm looking forward to is coming out February 19th, and it's a movie called Race. And it's the story of Jesse Owens and his victory in the Olympics, in the 1936 Olympics, I believe, in Germany. He won a lot of great victories in Germany. He was a runner, Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was a runner. He won a record-breaking 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympic Games. The guy who's playing Jesse Owens, to be truthful, when I saw the trailer, I thought Chadwick Boseman was playing him. Chadwick Boseman's played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, and he also played James Brown in the movie Get On Up. So he's played a couple historical characters. But it's a guy named Stephen James that is going to be playing Jesse Owens. Jason Sudeikis is in this movie. It'll be very interesting to see Jason Sudeikis in this role, because Sudeikis is an SNL alum. He's known as a very funny comedian. It'll be interesting to see what he does in this film. So Race is one I'm looking forward to. Another one I'm looking forward to that's coming out February 26th is Eddie the Eagle. And this is a story about a guy who was in the Olympics representing Canada, and he was a lovable loser basically. He finished last in like every single Olympic event he was in, and all that sort of thing. But people loved him for being a lovable loser. He tried his hardest even though he was no good. Taron Egerton plays that Eddie the Eagle. Taron Egerton was in Kingsman: The Secret Service last year, which I like the movie. And then there's two very established actors in Christopher Walken and Hugh Jackman. So Eddie the Eagle's another one I'm looking forward to. Gods of Egypt is coming out February 26th. And I am looking forward to this movie. I mean, it's an action fantasy. The trailer actually looks pretty good. It is another one of those. Now, a lot of your ancient Egypt type movies, like there was a movie called Exodus, Gods and Kings that came out a couple of years ago. There's been a big controversy about whitewashing in Hollywood, putting white actors in roles that should go to, a lot of foreign actors. So roles that a lot of foreign actors should have are going to white actors. And there's a big controversy about it for sure. Some of the names in the movie are Nicolaj Coster-Waldau, who I've heard of, Gerard Butler, great action star, 300 and Olympus Has Fallen, and Chadwick Boseman. So, still, Gods of Egypt is one I'm looking forward to a lot. The next movie on my list is 999. 999 is a crime drama, and that's about a group of criminals. Actually, I'll read you the plot here. The film follows a group of criminals and corrupt cops who find themselves in serious trouble. The Russian mafia is blackmailing them, and the only way to deal with them is to perform what is believed to be an extremely challenging heist. Impossible as it may seem, however, they eventually hatch a plan. On one side of town, half of the crew will plan the murder of a rookie cop named Chris Allen, Casey Affleck. And while the rest of the force is distracted by a 999 call, officer down, the other half of the corrupt cops will pull off the job. And there's a lot of big names in this movie. Casey Affleck, Chiwetel Ejiofor, no name, Anthony Mackie, Aaron Paul, Norman Reedus, Woody Harrelson, Kate Winslet, Gal Gadot. So, a lot of known names in this movie, definitely. I am looking forward to 999. That's going to be it for this video, because I know I'm getting up to 30 minutes already talking about these movies. Well, actually, what I'll do is I'll talk about the movies in March. I'll stop the video. I'll do a part 2 talking about April through June, then July through September, and I'll do the quarters of movies. This is it. January through March is considered the first quarter of the year, and I'm going to just talk about those. So I'm going to talk about the movies here in March. So, another movie that's high on my list that I am looking forward to tremendously is coming out in March 4th, is London Has Fallen. This movie, I mean, it's a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. I loved Olympus Has Fallen. It's one of my favorite action movies of all time. It really is very good. So London Has Fallen. Gerard Butler returns from the first movie. Aaron Eckhart as well, and Morgan Freeman. Angela Bassett also. A lot of the people from the first movie return to the second movie. Now this is about a plot to assassinate the world leaders. Coming off there's a world leader in London who dies, and all the world leaders attend the funeral of this world leader in London. Well, there's a plot to assassinate all the world leaders, and Gerard Butler has to come save the day. So, London Has Fallen. I'm looking forward to it tremendously. Another movie I'm looking forward to that's coming out March 4th. March 4th. Is Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. It's a drama, comedy / biography. And it's a Tina Fey movie. I like Tina Fey. I love Tina Fey as a comedic actress. She's one of my favorite female comedians of all time. She's one of the best, that's for sure. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot stars Tina Fey and Margot Robbie. Billy Bob Thornton's in the movie, Martin Freeman, a few others as well. It is... So let's see, the plot of this movie. While working as a war correspondent in Afghanistan and Pakistan during Operation Enduring Freedom, Kim Barker, played by Tina Fey, develops a crazy relationship with a fellow journalist from Scotland, played by Martin Freeman. The movie looks very intriguing to me. I will definitely take a look at it. Excuse me. Another movie that comes out, it looks like an extremely cute movie. Zootopia. It is going to be the 55th Disney animated feature film in their collection. 55 movies. It's unbelievable. Zootopia will be the latest one, and Zootopia looks great. I mean, the trailers. Just look at the trailer with the sloth. There's a trailer involving a sloth that's pretty hilarious. It's pretty cute, hilarious. I mean, it definitely is. I'm a Disney fan. I definitely am. I grew up on Disney films. And I'll be looking forward to this film. I definitely want to check it out. Some brand names in the movie. Jason Bateman, Idris Elba, J.K. Simmons, Shakira is in this movie, and a few others as well. But Zootopia, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Coming out March 11th is The Brothers Grimsby, pardon me. The Brothers Grimsby. It's a British action spy comedy film. I saw the trailer for this movie, and it looks good. It looks pretty good. I mean, it has Sacha Baron Cohen. You can't go wrong including Sacha Baron Cohen in anything, because the guy's really good. I mean, Borat is hilarious. I love the movie Borat. He stars in the movie. Mark Strong stars in the movie. Rebel Wilson, Isla Fisher. Interesting fact, Isla Fisher and Sacha Baron Cohen are both married. They've been married for a couple years now. But, the plot of the movie reads like this. The film involves a British Black Ops spy, who's played by Mark Strong, whose idiotic brother, Sacha Baron Cohen, is a football hooligan. The estranged brother of a football hooligan with a perfect life and perfect girlfriend is one of MI6's deadliest assassins, and the two team up to save the world when they reunite. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It looks good. Next movie I'm looking forward to is actually one that I have not seen all of the other movies. There's 2 movies before it, so I have to see those. But the Divergent series Allegiant, I definitely need to see those first 2 Divergent movies. But the Divergent series Allegiant is like the first part of 2, I believe, and they're based off a book series anyway, like the Hunger Games and Harry Potter and all those book series. But yeah, the Divergent series Allegiant is one I'm fascinated by. I definitely want to see it at some point. Excuse me. One of the other movies that I'm looking forward to, the next movie coming out March 25th, is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This is going to be one of the biggest movies of the year. The movie is going to make money. It is, whether it's good or bad, the movie is going to make money, for sure. But hopefully it's good. I mean, this is the first time ever in the history of movies, in a live-action format, that Batman and Superman are in the same movie. First time ever that that's happened. Ben Affleck, of course, is playing Batman. Henry Cavill is playing Superman. Jesse Eisenberg is playing Lex Luthor. Jeremy Irons is playing Alfred. Amy Adams is in the movie playing Lois Lane. And many others as well. But Batman v Superman, this is where Batman and Superman collide. They battle it out, and it's something. Gal Gadot also plays Wonder Woman. Now, I have a few concerns about the casting of Superman, Henry Cavill. I've said it before. I didn't like the casting of Superman in Man of Steel. I didn't like Henry Cavill that much as Superman in Man of Steel. I loved Man of Steel as a movie, but his portrayal as Superman left a lot to be desired. Hopefully, he gives a great performance in this movie. And then Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, you've heard me say it before, Gal Gadot is a terrible actress. She was terrible in the Fast and Furious films. Fast and Furious 4 is one of my least favorite in the franchise, mainly because of her in that movie and her awful acting. She brought up a large portion. She was in the movie more so than what she was in Fast 5 and Fast 6, and she wasn't very good, to put it kindly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to I mean, we'll see how Gal Gadot does as Wonder Woman. We'll see. You know, but other than those 2 concerns, I mean, the movie looks very good. I'll definitely be there to see it. I definitely want to see it. So there you go. Let's see here. Next movie. Actually, that is it for March. That is it for March, and that's it for this video. Part 2 of my video. Stay tuned for part 2 of my video, which I'm going to cover the second quarter of 2016, which is April through June. So stay tuned for that. That's it for this video. D-Rock 1992 out.